You know murder's my hobby. Inside of my closet's a bunch of dead bodies and shit. Edit them curse, cause I go to church and stare at the Bible and shit. Shorty say I'm the worst, cause I do my dirt, and I don't be hiding this shit. Bitch, I'm a savage, I spit at you bastards, I wonder what you gonna do to me, oh. I need to hear some more rapping, I'm just not impressed by your cash and your jewelry, oh. All you my soldiers, and I'm a lieutenant, god damn it, you should be saluting me, oh.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy, Tickers. I don't usually do talking too much. It's like sitting down and talking. But today is the day that I'm doing another series called Let's Recap Back. Like I'm talking about bringing memories back from my Europe trip or other trips. And today's topic is, hold on for a second, United Kingdom. Oh yeah, where do we begin? Oh yeah, first things first, the taxi arrived, sent us to the airport, checking out luggage, gone through immigration and customs. Eventually we're at the airside. We're flying to London via Emirates, which is my favorite airline. I've been wanting to fly Emirates ever since I was a little kid. Like, I want to fly one of Emirates fleet, like Airbus A380, Boeing 777. And yeah, God made it happen and my dream came true. After we left Malaysia, we were on air for like 7 hours. And they were serving hot, delicious meal during 8 p.m. And that was at night. I was a bit tired. And I didn't manage to watch the in-flight entertainment because I need to get some sleep before I get severe jet lag. And I eventually watched the moving maps because the moving maps quite amazed me because I watched so many YouTubers, they filmed the moving map, and yeah, I felt like I get to experience it. So landed in Dubai after 7 hours of flying and went through the transit security, and yeah, we have to wait for 4 hours until our next flight boards. And to be honest though, we landed in the old airport. Our plane parked in the old airport, and it was devastating because there's no shops open, only duty-free stores that sells liquor and cigar, and it isn't connect to the new terminal. All in all, it's a bit boring, I would say. In that terminal, I fell asleep for a couple of hours, and then the announcement just made saying the London flight will be boarding in a few minutes. Little do we know that this plane is the exact plane that we've flown in from Kuala Lumpur, and it's continuing its journey up to London Heathrow. After being in the air for another 7 hours, we finally made it into gloomy London Heathrow Airport. We disembarked the plane. We've gone through security and customs and immigration. We've met up with my bro who is studying in UK for a year. Got on the shuttle bus on our way to the rent-a-car place to rent a car. And the lady over there just smiled at me because I was filming the plane takeoff and landing. And I think she was saying like, "Oh, you have a really nice accent, you're attractive, you're Asian." Like, this is what I think. Nevertheless, we got ourselves a rent-a-car. I forgot what's the name of the car. Like, I really forgot it. We've begun our journey to Cheltenham. It was a 3 hours drive. And along the road, we saw cows, sheep, and rolling plain hills. After what is 3 hours of drive in the beautiful countryside of the Cotswold in the UK, we arrived in Cheltenham. But still, we can't check in because it's too early, so we drive 20 minutes away from Cheltenham in this little town called Bourne-on-the-Water. Main attraction of Bourne-on-the-Water is actually a river flowing by the town. And that's what they call the Venice of Cotswold, or the Venice of UK. After being there for like 1 hour, we went back to Cheltenham and we got to check in into our Airbnb of our humble abode. First thing, we walked into this apartment. It has the old grandma unit type. I really like the floor creaks because whenever I took a step, the floor creaked so loud, and I couldn't even jump by that time because of how creakiness of the floor is, but still, I love creaky floors. And there is an attic at my apartment. Like, there's a stair leads up to the attic, and it is a very dark attic which people has their rooms in it. And I went up there one time and I felt very scared because of how quiet it is. So I went into my apartment room and locked myself in. So after we settled all down, like put all our luggages and bags on the floor, we went to Tesco for grocery shopping basically. Like, we have to cook our own stuff, we have to make our own stuff, and yeah, and after that it was nighttime and bed. Let's go sleep. Nah, just joking. In the middle of the night, I woke up at 2 a.m. for no goddamn reason. Because I have jet lag and I couldn't sleep for 3 hours until 4 a.m. And that was the time I fell asleep and I woke up at 7. Yeah, that was a very creepy night. Like, everybody was asleep. Not only that, we went to Gloucester to see a cathedral, which Harry Potter filmed there before. And yeah, we went to a cathedral. There was no time. We have to rush back to Cheltenham because of my sis' complication. Her graduation is actually in Cheltenham Racecourse. Fun fact, Cheltenham is famous for its horse racing. And a lot of Brits will come to Cheltenham just to see horse racing. At that time, my bro and I couldn't enter my sis' convocation, so we went to Tesco just to buy a milk. Yes, a milk! So after a very rare Tesco adventure with my bro, we went back to the race course. Me and my bro slept in the car for a couple of hours until my sis called me saying, hey, you guys can come in now because it's over, and we wanted to have a family picture. The next day we immediately took off to London. But we did stop by the Oxford University to see the smart students. After visiting the Oxford University, we continuing our journey to London. And when it was rush hour, we stuck in the traffic jam for like 1 hour or so. And eventually we arrived at St. Pancras, which is our hotel is located. And we have checked into our Excelsior hotel. And that was the time that my bro and my dad went to the airport to return the rental car back. And me and my mom and my sis stayed in the hotel for quite some time, and I accidentally fell asleep while watching a very funny movie. During the night, we went to Piccadilly Circus to explore Oxford Street, and we saw a lot of high-brand clothing shops. And eventually we went into Hamleys, and it was fun, and we stumbled across the protests, which I don't know what they were talking about. And eventually we went to Chinatown to eat my first Japanese meal in UK. That was unexpectedly usual because we're Asians, we're supposed to eat Asian food. So the next day we went to London Bridge to go try Breakfast Club, and that was the time my first time eating the authentic English breakfast and American pancakes as well. After we have our breakfast, we went to London Bridge, a very foggy London Bridge. I think the visibility is not only like 100, like 100 above or so. And then we took a bus ride to Tower Bridge, which not to be confused with London Bridge and Tower Bridge. I'm not gonna lie, we saw Boris Johnson and Donald Trump dancing together, and then Boris Johnson waved at me, waved at the camera, and then Donald Trump just like. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, he's not president anymore. Took a lot of photos there, and we took an underground to Big Ben, Westminster Parliament, and we saw the London Eye. And beware of scams and tourist traps, they're very common there. And yeah, the Big Ben unfortunately is under renovation or construction. They shift the clock facing forward south, so you might not want to. You can't see the clock from across the river. You went to Buckingham Palace by St. James's Park. We stopped by in St. James's Park to chill, to relax, to feel the autumnal nature. And there's a lake, there's a swan, and everything else you can imagine. And it was a very muddy road, a muddy beaten path. And yeah, eventually we come across the mall, which stretched from the main road to the Buckingham Palace. And believe it or not, there's so many horse poop. If you want to know if the Queen is in there, you can just look at the Union Jack. If it's rise up on the pole, that means the Queen is in there. If you can't see the flag, that means the Queen is not in there. So eventually took a lot of photos and went to Green Park Station via Green Park. Like, there's so many parks in London, like Green Park, St. James's Park. But yeah, all I know is these two parks. And yeah, we went to Green Park Station, Underground Station. We went to Covent Garden to try Flatiron, the steak-based restaurant. And this, believe it or not, is so delicious. After done having Flatiron steak, we went once again to Piccadilly Circus to walk along the Oxford Street. And yes, once again we went into Primark. And this time we bought a lot of clothing. I bought hoodie and pants. After being in the Primark for about 2 hours before it's closed, we went to Chinatown to buy some Xingfu Tang and to buy some bread. And that was our first ever boba tea experience in London, United Kingdom. And after that, we went back to our hotel and sleep. And good night. Just joking, let's continue the topic. Eventually, the next day, we went to Amsterdam and we stopped by in St. Pancras Station. We have to go through the French customs first. And yeah, that was our end of this trip in the UK. So hey, what y'all think? Like, if you like this content, like me talking about my trip in Europe, please make sure to like and subscribe. Share this video to your friends and families. Tell them Takeaway sent you there. And also, make sure to be happy and be grateful and be cheerful. So yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in Netherlands talking session.